Friends, inside every person, there's a wild side, an animal that lives deep within. Some people control it, others let it out for no reason. In today's story, we'll explore what happens when human emotions clash with the harshness of the world. We start with a woman named Beth. She's walking alone through a thick forest, looking terrified and panicked, like she just saw something horrible up close. Her head is bald, not a single strand of hair. But then, suddenly, her eyes open wide. It was only a nightmare. Beth had been dreaming. Actually, Beth is now recovering from cancer. She and her husband Henry have come to the quiet forests of America to spend some peaceful time together. You could say they're here to celebrate her survival, a small victory after a very hard battle. The day begins. Morning sunlight filters through the trees. Henry is thinking about their plans for the day. They've decided to go camping deep in the forest. He looks at the map and shows Beth two different paths, one that's easy and safe, and another that's more difficult and full of challenges. Beth chooses the harder path. Even though she still feels weak from her illness, she doesn't want to be seen as fragile. Her body may not be the same anymore, but her spirit has become tougher. Henry doesn't argue much. He understands that she's still a little angry and emotional, and that's okay after everything she's been through. So they both start walking through the forest. The trees sway, the birds sing, and nature looks beautiful. But Beth starts to feel tired. The path is uphill, and her legs feel heavy. Still, she doesn't say a word. She doesn't want to slow Henry down. After a while, they reach a rocky area. Henry offers his hand to help her climb, but Beth refuses. She wants to do it on her own. While trying, she hurts her leg. Even after that, when Henry offers help again, she still says no and pushes herself up by herself. Henry watches this quietly. He doesn't argue. Instead, he decides it's best to set up camp here. He knows she's being stubborn, but he also knows that he must stay calm and supportive. So he begins to collect dry wood to start a fire. Meanwhile, Beth walks toward a small river nearby to wash her wound. She kneels down, scoops up some water, and suddenly freezes. There's blood in the water. Her eyes follow the stream and land on something shocking. On the other side of the river, a bear lies still, but something is very wrong. Its skin is missing, peeled off, a terrifying sight. She screams for Henry. He comes running, looks at the bear, and says it must be the work of a hunter. He explains that this forest is open to anyone, and some people do cruel things. Maybe a ranger should have been around to stop it. Why hurt an innocent animal like this? They talk for a while about the pain humans can cause, to each other and to nature. But after a moment of silence, they move on. Henry finishes setting up the tent. He even decorates a little, hoping Beth will like it. Now it's night. The air is cool, the stars are quiet, and Henry lights a small campfire. The soft orange glow dances across their faces. He gives Beth something, her old hospital wristband, the same band she wore during her painful fight with cancer. Beth looks at it. For a moment, she just stares. That little piece of plastic brings back a flood of memories. The long nights in hospital beds, the fear, the weakness, the loneliness. It all comes rushing back. She doesn't want to feel it again. Her eyes fill with tears. She wasn't ready to face it yet. She begins to cry. It's not loud. It's that quiet kind of crying when you're trying to be strong. But the weight of everything inside finally breaks out. Henry sits beside her. He gently talks to her, telling her it's okay to let go now, that those days are over, that she's here, alive and strong. Slowly, she listens. And with a shaky hand, Beth throws the wristband into the fire. They both watch it melt away. The past burns with it. Maybe not completely forgotten, but now it no longer controls her. She breathes deeply, as if she's lighter than she was just moments ago. The past is over, but the story isn't. Something new is coming. Just then, from the quiet of the forest, a loud gunshot rings out in the distance. It echoes through the trees. The birds scatter. Henry stands up quickly, alert. He suggests they contact the ranger. Maybe something dangerous is out there, but Beth stops him. She says no. She doesn't want anything to ruin this trip. After all, it might just be hunters far away. So for now, they go back to sleep. Beth tries to rest, but her sleep is restless. In her dream, she finds herself lying on cold concrete outside a hospital. There's something wrong. Something is near her. A strange creature, its form unclear, its skin almost wet and dark, leans over her and begins licking her wounds. Not gently, not with care. It feels wrong. She wakes up, gasping. She steps out of the tent to calm herself down. The night is cold and silent, but then she notices something odd on the ground. Some strange, thick liquid. It glows slightly under the moonlight, like something not from this world. She stares at it. Just then, Henry walks up behind her. He's surprised to see her out there. He says he's been sitting here the whole time. She thought he was still asleep, but maybe not. Before they can talk more, a noise interrupts them. A strange sound from the direction of their camp. They run back toward it, and what they see makes them freeze. Their camp is completely destroyed. The tent is torn apart, the supplies scattered, and something is very wrong because that same strange liquid Beth saw earlier, it's everywhere now, splattered across the ground, soaking into the earth, dripping from torn branches. Something or someone was here. But who or what? Is it a hunter playing tricks or something much stranger? Something they've never seen before? We don't know yet, but stay with us because whatever is coming next, it's only just beginning. For now, Henry and Beth decide to leave. Their tent is destroyed. They have no food, no clean water, and no way to call for help. Their phones are broken. The map is useless. Even the radio won't turn on. Everything they brought is gone. They have no choice now. If they want to survive, they must keep moving, on foot, with no direction, no signal, and only guesses to guide them. The forest around them is thick and confusing. One wrong turn, and they could get lost forever. So they begin to run. Branches slap against their clothes. The sounds of the forest grow stranger, darker, heavier. Then suddenly, a black smoke rises in front of them. It's not normal smoke. It moves like it's alive. The smoke reaches toward Beth. For a second, it wraps around her like it's pulling her in. She freezes. Her eyes are wide. Something has hold of her. Not just her body, but her mind. Henry grabs her and pulls her away. They run together until they find a massive tree and hide behind its thick trunk. They stay there all night, sitting in silence, afraid to move. The darkness feels endless. But finally, morning comes. When the light breaks through the trees, they find a small stream and drink water to stay alive. But something is wrong with Beth. She stares off into the woods, silent again. There's a strange look in her eyes, like she's not fully here. Then she sees something. We don't know what it is, but we know she feels it. A force, a presence, something evil close by. Henry calls out to her. She snaps out of it, but just as she turns, he screams in pain. His leg is caught in a trap. Beth runs to him and forces the trap open. The wound is deep. Blood runs down his leg. He tries to stand, but he can't walk. Not like this. Beth makes a hard choice. She tells Henry to stay there and rest. She will go ahead alone and try to find someone, anyone who can help them. Henry doesn't argue. He nods, his hand resting on the tree, breathing heavily. So Beth walks away, alone. But every step she takes, she can feel it. Something is following her, watching her, surrounding her. A dark force hiding just outside her vision. Then, up ahead, she sees something strange. An old ruin hidden deep in the forest. Broken walls, crumbled stones. A place that once belonged to someone, and in the center of it, a deep, dark well. She steps closer. When Beth looks inside, her heart nearly stops. Hanging inside the well are pieces of human skin, not one or two, hundreds, maybe thousands, stretched, dried, and hanging like forgotten clothes. Her whole body freezes in horror. She turns and runs, but the force is behind her again, closer, stronger. Suddenly, she's grabbed by someone. A hand pulls her down behind a tree. She wants to scream, but then she sees it's a man, not a stranger, not a threat, a savior. He covers her mouth gently and points above them. On a tree branch, the black smoke creature sits silently, searching for her. It doesn't see them. When the danger passes, the man whispers, "Come with me." His name is Vin. He takes her back to a hidden place in the forest. It's a small shelter he built with his own hands. Inside, she finds Henry already there. The man had gone back and brought him too. He gives them food. He gives them rest. At first, Beth and Henry don't trust him. Vin doesn't speak much. He looks worn, tired, and hollow, like someone who hasn't truly slept in years. But slowly, he begins to talk. He tells them the truth. He's been trapped here for a long time. Just like them, he also saw the black smoke. Just like them, he tried to run. But this place, it doesn't let you leave unless it wants you to. That force decides everything. And so far, it hasn't let anyone go. Vin is still fighting it, still trying to find a way to beat it. But even after all this time, he hasn't found the answer. On the other side, we see that Henry's condition is getting worse. His leg injury is so bad that the bone is visible. Beth tries to help him, but Henry can't stop screaming from the pain. His cries echo through the trees, and Vin doesn't like the noise. Without saying much, Vin walks over and in one quick motion, pushes the bone back into place. Henry groans, but the screaming stops. Vin tells them to get some sleep now. Going out in the dark is too dangerous. But Beth and Henry still have questions. They want answers. They ask Vin how he ended up here and what exactly is going on in this forest. Vin explains that he came to this place just like they did 8 months ago. He came for a trip, but never made it back home. He tells them about a dark force that lives here, a creature called indigo. It hunts people in the forests of America. It doesn't kill them right away. It takes their skin. That's why so many are never found. At first, Beth and Henry don't believe him. It all sounds impossible, but then they remember what they saw, the skin hanging inside that well. The terrible image is still fresh in their minds. They know it's real. As Vin talks, Beth's eyes stay focused on one thing, the locket around Vin's neck. Inside, it is a small photo of a young girl. The next morning, Vin says he's going out to hunt, but only Beth can come with him. Henry is too hurt to move. Beth agrees. She goes with Vin, knowing that he's looking for Indigo, the same dark force she's seen only as black smoke. But how can he kill something like that? Does he know something others don't? While walking, Beth again looks at the locket. Finally, Vin opens up. He says the girl in the picture is his daughter, Addison. He brought her to these woods on a trip, just like this. But one day, Indigo came and took her away. He never saw her again. Since then, Vin has stayed here, hiding and fighting. He's made it his mission to destroy the thing that took his daughter, no matter what it takes. They spend a long time waiting in the forest. Vin tries different places, hoping to catch a sign, but nothing appears. Then suddenly, Vin is gone. Beth turns to look for him, but he's nowhere to be seen. That's when the black smoke returns. Beth panics. She starts running. Her heart is racing. She's terrified, but she can only run for so long. Finally, she stops, tired, scared, unable to go further. The black smoke reaches her, but something strange happens. It touches her and then moves past her. It doesn't hurt her. It doesn't try to kill her. Why? Suddenly, Vin appears holding a gun and yelling. Beth realizes something. He used her as bait. He wanted the creature to come closer so he could shoot it, but then a shocking truth is revealed. This evil power, this Indigo, doesn't attack just anyone. It only hunts people who are already weak, sad, or sick. Beth is confused. She says, "But I'm fine now. I beat my sickness." Vin looks at her and asks, "Are you sure you're fine?" Beth's face changes. Until now, she hadn't told anyone, not even Henry, that her cancer had come back. She quietly admits it to Vin. Yes, she was cancer-free for a while, but then it returned, and she didn't say anything to her husband because she just wanted to enjoy this trip. She wanted to spend time with him while she still could. Later that night, when everyone was asleep, Beth quietly got up and started exploring the cave. While looking around, she discovered something hidden, a bunker deep inside the rock. Curious, she went inside. What she saw left her shocked. Inside the bunker were dead bodies, people who had once survived, but later Vin used them for his own purpose. He believed he could destroy the dark force, Indigo, but only by sacrificing others. Now Beth realizes he plans to do the same to her and Henry. Just then, Vin wakes up and grabs Beth. She looks him in the eye and says, "You're a murderer." She accuses him of killing innocent people who came to him for help, all for the sake of revenge. He lost his daughter, but now he's hurting others in return. Vin admits that he's planning to take Henry next. He says Henry is going to die anyway because of his injuries, so he might as well be used to help fight Indigo. Beth steps in and stops him. She tells Vin to take her instead. She says Indigo seems to want her anyway. Maybe using her will buy them more time, maybe even a chance to destroy it. Beth pleads with Vin. After a moment of silence, he agrees. He takes her outside. Beth asks what she's supposed to do. She's never been used as bait before. "Do I have to scream again?" she asks. "Hang from something." "What?" But Vin doesn't say anything. Then without warning, Indigo attacks. But this time, its attack is different. It doesn't strike fast. It first plays with the mind. It shows the victim their deepest pain, their worst memory. Vin sees his daughter, alive, smiling. He gets lost in the memory, frozen. And in that moment, the entity strikes him hard. Vin is badly hurt. Beth runs to him, begging him to stop, to give up this fight. But Vin won't stop. Even while bleeding, he pulls Beth up and ties a noose around her neck. He forces her to stand on a block of wood and shouts into the darkness, "Come out! If you don't, I'll kill her!" Beth tries to escape. She begs him to stop, but when Vin points a gun at her, she knows she has no choice and steps up. She stands there quiet and scared, but as she waits, she slowly pulls something sharp from her pocket. The moment Vin turns his head, she stabs him in the neck. It doesn't kill him instantly, but he falls, screaming in pain. It's clear he won't survive for long. Just then, the wooden block Beth was standing on snaps. The rope tightens around her neck. She gasps, struggling to breathe. But right before she loses consciousness, the rope breaks. She falls to the ground, choking but alive. Without wasting a second, she runs. She runs as fast as she can, but somehow she ends up back at the same ruins. And there, hanging on a branch, is Vin's skin. He's gone now. Indigo has taken him too. But something strange happens next. Beth starts feeling different, like she's in another world. Everything looks strange and dark. The entity has taken full control of her mind. She wakes up lying on a large stone covered in the strange carvings. She looks closely at them. The carvings show people willingly giving themselves to the dark power, surrendering, worshiping. Beth realizes this place chooses its victims, and maybe it chose her because deep down, her heart is kind. Even though she's sick, she's never hurt anyone. She only wanted peace, but she's not ready to die. She tries to run, but no matter where she goes, she ends up back at the same stone, again and again. Then she remembers Vin's words. When the entity takes physical form, it can be killed. So this time, when it comes close, Beth fights back. She stabs it with a knife again and again, cutting through its body. It falls falls to the ground. From the creature's body, a small worm-like being crawls out. It tries to get inside Beth, but before it can, she crushes it with her foot. It's finally over. Beth runs back through the forest. She finds Henry, still alive. She helps him up, and together they walk out of the forest, away from the horror, away from Indigo. And with that, the story ends. Let us know what you thought of the story in the comments. We'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching. Peace out.